Good morning, Algebra 2. Welcome to your first ever distance learning video with Mrs. Woods. Let's start with praying, please. And if you have any prayer requests, if you'll post them on LMS, we'll pray as we make videos every day. So if you'll just take a second to bow your head and pray with me. Father God, I lift up to you today all my students. I pray for Chloe and Derek and Zonell and Logan and Emmanuel and his sister Elena and Merrick and Grayson. Lord, I lift up to you anything on their heart. I pray today for Jonathan Roberts, who left to go to boot camp on Monday. I pray you keep him safe. Lord, I pray over our country, the victims of coronavirus, and I pray, Lord, that you will bring a quick end to this outbreak so that we can get back to school as normal and the living as normal. We love you, Lord, and we know you've got it under control. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, y'all, get your packet out and turn to section 7. I will grade the homework you turned in on section 5, and I'll let you know when you can check your work, check your grades. We are skipping section 6 because I need to see you face to face in order to do that section. So today we're starting section 7. If you'll get your packet out and turn to section 7, problem 84. Today we're going to do systems of equations and 3 unknowns. We've been doing X and Y systems, and today we're going to do X, Y, and Z, or A, B, and C, or this one's R, S, and T. And so if you'll get your packet out, if you'll copy in these problems as we talk about them, and I'm periodically going to ask you to pause the video and see if you can work one, and then I'm going to come back and work it again so that you can see it. And then at the end I will tell you what your homework is for today, and of course it will be posted on LMS. I don't think I've got you quite in the right orientation here. I'm using a new piece of technology that Miss Herbert got for me, well, for the school, and so let me get it kind of adjusted a little bit. Okay, and we're going to start with problem 84. And I started saying what our goal was. Our goal is to go from a 3 by 3, A, B, and C, to a 2 by 2 with just 2 of the letters, then to go to a 1 by 1 with just 1 letter, and then we'll work back. So if you can see, my goal is to go from a 3 by 3 to a 2 by 2 to a 1 by 1. And the way that you start this first is you look at the 3 equations and you see if there is an obvious choice that will eliminate. Now when I look at problem 84, right here I see negative 4c and I see positive 4c. I see negative 4c and I see positive 4c. The obvious choice to get rid of in 84 is the c's. So the way you do this is you work 2 equations at a time. And those of you that write messy are really going to need to be neat when you do this. So looking at these 2 equations right here, what would happen if I added them up and down, because I've got a negative 4c and a positive 4c. If I added them up and down, negative 2a and positive 2a, the a's would cancel. 5b and 5b would give me 10b. Negative 4c and positive 4c would give me 0c. They would cancel. 9 and 1 would give me 10. Well, this one is really easy because we went straight from 3 to 3 to 1 by 1. 10b equals 10, so b must equal 1. Okay? Now, my object is to figure out another one of the letters. So if b equals 1, I can take that information and I can put it in another one of these equations to figure out c. Now if I put it back into these 2, it won't help me because I've already used these 2. So now I'm going to use these 2. Okay, you can't use the same 2 over and over again. You have to use them in different pairs. So I'm going to use these bottom 2. I'm still not real satisfied with where my maybe that's better. Looks better on my computer screen. Let's hope it looks better on yours as well. Okay, I'm going to plug in b equals 1. 2a plus 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4c equals 1. I took that one and I plugged it in there. Now the bottom one. 5a plus 3 times 1 is 3, plus 4c equals 5. I'm going to move the 5 over here. I'm going to move the 3 over here. So that's going to give me 2a plus 4c equals negative 4. You see, when I moved the positive 5, I subtracted. 1 minus 5 is negative 4. Now let's do the same thing for the bottom one. 5a plus 4c, move the 3 over, minus 3, that'll give me 2. Okay? Now, this looks like the problems we've been working all chapter. I see a positive 4c and a positive 4c. So if I multiply one of the equations by a negative, I can make the c's cancel. All right? So I'm going to multiply this top one. Now I'm going to leave the top one. I'm going to multiply this bottom one by negative 1. So I'm recopying the top. This is the top one. Now I'm going to multiply the bottom one by negative 1. Negative 5a minus 4c equals minus 2. Now my c's cancel. 2a and negative 5a will give me negative 3a equals negative 6. I divide both sides by negative 3, and a equals 2. So now I have an a, and I have a b. I'm going to plug it back into any of these to figure out c, and I'm plugging it into the middle one. You can plug it into any of the 3. I'm plugging it into the middle one because they're all positive and they're pretty small. 2a plus 5b plus 4c equals 1. 4, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 5 plus 4c equals 1. Add those two together. 9 plus 4c equals 1. Subtract 9 from this side. Subtract 9 from this side. 4c equals negative 8. Divide both sides by 4, so c equals negative 2. Now, we write our answer as what is known as an ordered triple. So we make a parenthesis. We copy down the first letter in alphabetical order, the second letter in alphabetical order, the third letter in alphabetical order. And my answer to problem 84 is 2, 1, negative 2. 2, 1, negative 2. Okay, I would like you now to pause the video, and I would like you to look at problem 85. I'm going to tell you how to start it, and I would like you to try it, and then I would like you to restart the video as I work it and see if you are getting the right answer. So here's how you start it. Do you see how in these two problems there's positive 6t and negative 6t? They would cancel. So put those two together, and then you'll have an equation with r's and s's. Okay? Then, negative 6t, positive 6t, put these two together, and you will have an equation with r's and s's. So then you'll have two equations that have r's and s's, and it's just like what we've done all chapter long. So if you stop the video now and work problem 85 for me, add the first two because they will cancel, add the bottom two because they will cancel, and then you'll go from a 3 by 3 to a 2 by 2, then work the 2 by 2 like you have all chapter, and then you'll get it down to a 1 by 1, and then once you've got it 1 by 1, plug it back in to one of the 2 by 2s to find the second one, and then plug those both back in to the 3 by 3. So pause the video, work problem 85, and then start it again. Okay, I'm assuming that you followed my directions and that you stopped and you tried to work it. So I'm going to work it here with you again, following the instructions that I gave so that you can understand. Now, every one of these is a little bit different. So what works on one problem might not work on the other. You just have to look for the tricks. Remember that substitution doesn't work on every one of them. Graphing doesn't work on every one of them. So whatever we do may not work on every one. We just got to try. Right? I saw that the 6t's cancel. So let's put those together. 4r minus 2r is 2r. Negative s minus 3s is negative 4s. 6t and negative 6t cancel. Negative 14 plus 6 is negative 8. Again, positive 2t, negative 4s, those cancel, or negative 8. Okay? Now do the same thing with the bottom. That's going to give me 4r minus 8s. The t's are going to cancel, and that's going to equal negative 24. Okay? Again, negative 2r and 6r make 4r. Negative 3s and negative 5s make negative 8s. Negative 6t and positive 6t make negative 24. Excuse me. Positive 6 and negative 30 make negative 24. Negative 6t and positive 6t cancel. Okay, take these two equations and write them on top of each other. Now what I've got here is nothing new. You've done it all chapter long. I need to get something to cancel. I'm going to multiply the top by a negative 2. And when I do that, I'm going to get negative 2 times 2r is negative 4r. Negative 2 times negative 4s is positive 8s. Negative 2 times negative 8 is positive 16. Uh-oh. Cancel. Cancel. Negative 24 and 16 makes negative 8. Does anyone remember what I said when you get all the variables cancel and you get a false statement? All the variables have canceled, you get a false statement. The answer to this problem is no solution. Okay. There is not a single R, S, and T that will work in all of these. So the answer is no solution. How do I know that? I got it from a 3 by 3 to a 2 by 2. When I worked the 2 by 2, it came out to be no solution. So the whole thing is no solution. Okay? All right. Let us work another one. Let us work 86 together. All right. When I look at 86, it's not lined up right. Do you see how it's all kind of craziness here? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up correctly. So on the top one, I'm going to move the 3y to the other side. Then I'm going to move the negative 4z to the other side by making it positive, and the 13 is where it needs to be. Okay. Then I'm going to move the negative 3x over, and it's going to become a positive 3x. I'm going to move the negative 3y over, and it's going to become a positive 3y. The 19 is where it needs to be. The z is where it needs to be. See what I did? Moved that and made it positive. I moved that and made it positive. I left that and I left that. Then this one's already right. I just need to line it up underneath. Okay? Now, at this point, you have a decision to make. What do you want to get rid of first? Well, I see right here I could get rid of the y's. And there's only one y there, so that might be easy. Or I see right here I could get rid of the z's, and then there's only one z there. It would be easy to get rid of the 4 z's. So I have to make a decision. How do I want to do this? Okay. Well, I think I'm going to get rid of the z's. It is entirely up to you. You could get rid of the y's, but I'm feeling like getting rid of the z's. So I take these two equations, and I'm going to get rid of the z. Okay, I've got a positive 4z, so if I had a negative 4z, I could get rid of it. So I'm going to times this equation by negative 4. Now be careful that you leave your originals, because you're going to have to mess with them again, and I don't want to mark them out. Excuse me. So I'm copying the top one, which I'm leaving alone. Then I'm multiplying the middle one by negative 4. Now guys, there's almost infinite ways to do these. They're like puzzles. So if you want to do it a different way, by all means try it. So negative 19 times negative 4, a negative times a negative is a positive, and that's going to be 76. Okay. So I see what I get when I combine these. Positive 1x and negative 12x is going to leave me negative 11x. Negative 3y and negative 12y is going to leave me negative 15y. Those are going to cancel. Positive 76 and negative 13 is going to leave me with 63. Okay? I'm going to hang on to this equation. I'm going to put a star by it. Okay? How did I get that equation? I multiplied the middle by negative 4 and I combined the top two. Okay? Now I've got to combine another two. So this time I'm going to combine the bottom two. You could do the top and the bottom. Okay? You just pick a different pair. I'm still trying to get rid of the z's. Okay? So to get rid of the z's on this one, I can just multiply the bottom by a negative. So let me move it over here. Here's the middle. I'm going to multiply the bottom by negative 1. So that's going to give me negative y, negative z, positive 6. Do you see what I did? Multiply the bottom by negative 1. Why? To make my z's cancel. So my z's cancel. I have no x's other than the 3x. Positive 3y and negative y is 2y. Negative 19 and 6 is negative 13. I'm putting an asterisk by that because now I have x and y here, and I have x and y over here. So I'm going to go to another sheet of paper. Alright, so let's take my two equations. 3x plus 2y equals negative 13. Now guys, I know that these are harder than what you have been doing, but you guys are in Algebra 2 and you can handle it. You're going to have to practice with it, but I'm not going to give you 85,000 of them to do for homework. Okay? So I took the top two equations and I got rid of z, and it gave me that one. I took the bottom two equations and I got rid of z. You got to get rid of the same letter, and it gave me that one. Now I'm taking those two equations and I'm putting them right here. Okay? I need to get rid of an x or a y. The smallest thing that 3 and 11 both go into is 33. The smallest thing 2 and 15 both go into is 30. So I'm going to use the y's. I'm going to get a positive 30 and a negative 30. So to get a positive 30, I times the top by 15. To get a negative 30, I times the bottom by 2. 3 times 15 is 45. 2 times 15 is 30. 13 times 15, get the handy dandy calculator out because I don't feel like doing it in my head this morning. It's too early. Is 195, and it's a negative. Are you with me? I'm hoping so. Try to make you straight here. All right, the bottom times 2. 2 times negative 11 is negative 22x. 2 times negative 15 is negative 30y. 2 times 63 is 126. And I hope you guys, as you're watching this, if you don't understand something, are rewinding and looking at it again. Those cancel. 45x minus 22x is 23x. Those cancel. Negative 195 and positive 126 will be a negative because the negative is bigger. 15 minus 6 is 9. And that becomes an 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. Negative 69. Divide by 23. Divide by 23. And when you do these for homework, they'll all come out nicely. If you get a fraction, something's wrong. So 23 goes into 69 3 times. Negative 3. Now I have my x. I'm going to take my x and plug it back into this easy equation here to get my y. 3x, there's my x, plus 2y equals negative 13. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Move the negative 9 over by making it positive 9. Divide by 2. And y equals negative 2. Now I'm going to take both of these and plug it back into one of these originals, okay? Or I see something easy. This bottom equation just says y plus z. I can plug into that. Y plus z equals negative 6. Throw the negative 2 over by making it positive 2. Z equals negative 4. Okay? It's like a puzzle. Now I'm going to check myself. Okay? So I'm going to get another piece of paper. Or flip this one over. You may have to work these on notebook paper because you probably don't have room in the packet to fit them. Okay? Now, let me move it so you can see it. And I'm going to write down what I got from my answers on the previous page. Negative 3, negative 2, negative 4. I'm checking myself. I'm going to check myself. So x, which is negative 3, equals, and I'm putting a little question mark right there to see if it's true, 3 times y, which is negative 2, minus 4 times z, which is negative 4, minus 13. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Negative 4 times 14 is positive 16, minus 13. Negative 6 plus 16 is 10. 10 minus 13 is negative 3. Negative 3 equals negative 3. It works in the top one. Let's check it in the middle one. Okay. Plugging in. Z is negative 4. Putting a little question mark until I know it's true. X is negative 3. Y is negative 2. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. Negative 3 times negative 2 is 6. 9 plus 6 is 15. 15 take away 19 is negative 4. Negative 4 equals negative 4. It worked in the middle one. Now let's check it works in the bottom one. Bottom one said y plus z equals negative 6. Y is negative 2. Z is negative 4. Negative 6 equals negative 6. Check. So my answer is right, and here's how I write it, as an ordered triple. Okay? I'd like you to stop the video now, and I would like you to try problem 87 on your own. And I'll give you a hint. If I were you, I would get rid of the y's first. So try problem 87, and then start the video again to check yourself. Okay, I hope you were obedient and stopped the video and worked problem 87 at your own pace. That is the beauty of video, is that you can take as long as you need at home. We're on problem 87. And the hint that I gave you is I would get rid of the y's because there's a positive y and there's a negative y. Okay, so I'm going to group these two together. Positive y and negative y will cancel. Negative 6x and negative x will give me negative 7x. 5z and 2z will give me 7z. Negative 23 and negative 12 will give me negative 35. Okay? Now, I'm going to group the top one and the bottom one together because I won't have to do anything with the y's. Now, you could multiply the top by a negative 1 if you wanted to, and that would get rid of it. You can multiply the middle by a negative 1. You could do the top two. I'm just choosing the top and the bottom because I don't have to manipulate anything. Okay? 5x and negative x would make 4x. Positive y and negative y would cancel. Negative 4z and positive 2z would be negative 2z. 20 minus 12 would be 8. So now I have this equation that's got an x and a z, this equation that's got an x and a z. That's my goal. I'm going to write them on top of each other. I don't know if y'all figured it out yet, but for me it's heaven to being able to do my math in my special pencil and not having to use a dry erase or a smart board or a vis-a-vis marker like I do in pre-calculus. All right. The smallest number 7 and 4 both go into is 28. The smallest number 2 and 17 both go into is 14. I'm going to go with this one. I need a negative 14 and a positive 14 to make the z's cancel. So to get a negative 14, I'm going to times this top one by 7. I'm going to times this bottom one by negative 2. If you remember, what we're doing is called elimination. 7 times 4x is 28x. 7 times negative 2z is negative 14z. 7 times 8 is 56. Do the same thing with the bottom, except it's times negative, oops, can't see it, sorry, times negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 7 is 14x. Negative 2 times 7z is negative 14z. Negative 2 times negative 35 is 70. Uh-oh. Not, all right, y'all, I made a mistake. I needed the top to be negative 14. I need the bottom to be positive 14. That's got to be a positive 2. Oopsie daisy. It's too early in the morning. It's only 7:30 when I'm filming this, and I'm still sleepy apparently. All right, let me fix that. 2 times negative 7 is negative 14x. 2 times positive 7 is positive 14z. 2 times negative 35 is negative 70. Now we are cooking with gas. Before, they weren't going to cancel. I had made a mistake, but now they're going to cancel. Okay, 28x minus 14x is 14x. Those cancel. 56 minus 70 is negative 14. And I'm glad, because I told you they all come out to be whole or integers, positive and negative whole numbers. Divide by 14, divide by 14, x equals negative 1. I'm going to circle it so I don't lose it. I'm going to take that and I'm going to plug it back in to the smaller of the two. All right. So 4 times, mind your signs. There's a couple of you that are kings of signs, so make sure you're paying attention to your sign. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Minus 2z equals 8. Add 4. Add 4. Negative 2z equals 12. Divide by negative 2, so z must be negative 6. Circle it up. Now I have an x and I have a z. Pick the easiest one. I think it's the bottom. So let's copy in. Negative x, see I put the x in parentheses, minus y, I don't know y yet, plus 2z equals negative 12. Negative negative 1 is positive 1. 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. Combine like terms. 1 take away 12 is negative 11 minus y equals negative 12. Add 11. Add 11. Y equals negative y. Don't forget that. Ms. Woods was almost queen of signs. Negative y equals negative 1. Divide both sides by negative. Y equals 1. Okay. We're going to check it. We're going to write it as an ordered triple. Okay. So make sure you've gotten everything written down from there that you want. And I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to put it over here on this other page. I'm going to copy my problems down again. Let's put it where you can see it. I'm going to leave space between them so I can sub in the values that we got so that we can check them. Guys, it is a great idea always to check your work. I mean, that's how I caught my mistake a minute ago. I was checking my work as I went and I knew something was wrong. All right. So I had x was negative 1, y was positive 1, z was negative 6. All right, so let's plug them in. 5 times negative 1 plus 1 minus 4 times negative 6 equals question mark 20. That's going to be negative 5 plus 1 plus 24. Negative times a negative is a positive. 1 and 24 is 25. 25 and negative 5 makes 20. 20 equals 20. Check. Works in that one. All right, let's check here. Negative 6 times negative 1, I'll do it as I go, is positive 6, plus y is 1, plus 5 times negative 6 is negative 30. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 plus negative 30 is negative 23. Check. Last one. Negative 1 makes positive 1. Negative 1 makes negative 1. 2 times negative 6 makes negative 12. 1 minus 1 is 0. Minus 12 equals minus 12. Check. Works in all three. So my final answer I write as an ordered triple. Okay. Now, let me explain to you what I want you to do for homework. If you look in your packet, I would like you to do for me problem 88, 89, 90, and 91. Each one of them is a little bit different. This one has something pretty easy going on if you look at it. Okay. This one, I see something easy going on with the z's. Here, you're going to have to do a little rearranging with this one. Here, just looking at it, a hint, this bottom one doesn't have a B, so if you got rid of the B's from this one, you'd be one step closer. Okay, I would like you for homework to work these 4 problems and upload your work. You may have to do it on a separate sheet of paper. I don't know if you've got this white space down here that I have or not, but I would like you to work these 4 problems and upload them to make your life easier so that you can check them. I'm going to upload also the answers to these 4 problems, but in order to get credit, I must see work, and work must match answers. I'm giving you answers so that you have something to work towards. If you have any questions, you may call me, you may text me, you may post me on LMS. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned something. Now, if you will work for me for homework and upload it by 10 o'clock tonight, this is Wednesday the 18th, problems 88, 89, 90, and 91, and show me all your steps. And those of you that have a hard time writing neatly, please write legibly for me, because it's hard to grade these digitally. And please, when you take a picture to upload it, make sure your picture is in focus, because I looked at some of the ones that y'all turned in from last night, and they're not in great focus, and I'm going to have to kind of figure out what's there. So please take the time to make sure they're in focus. And if you have any questions, you may text me or call me or email me or LMS me. Thank you guys, and I hope you're having a great day. I miss you all.